I never imagined that my life would take such a turn. As the CEO of a burgeoning tech company, I had always kept my professional life separate from my personal one. My wife, Clara, believed I was a mid-level employee, just another cog in the corporate machine. It was a deliberate choice. I wanted someone to love me for who I was, not for my title or bank account. Our marriage started with passion and mutual respect. Clara was intelligent, witty, and had an infectious laugh that could light up any room. We met at a charity event and our connection was instantaneous. She worked as an art curator, and her love for creativity matched my passion for innovation. Web novel, +3. Asian reads, +3. Web novel, +3. For years we lived modestly. I drove an old sedan, and we resided in a cozy apartment downtown. Clara never questioned our lifestyle. She appreciated the simplicity. Little did she know, I owned the very company I claimed to work for. However, as time passed, I noticed changes in Clara. She became distant, often engrossed in her phone, smiling at messages she wouldn't share. Late-night meetings became frequent, and the intimacy we once shared dwindled. I tried to ignore the signs, attributing them to work stress. Any stories? One evening, I returned home earlier than usual. The apartment was dimly lit, and I heard hushed voices from the bedroom. My heart pounded as I approached, only to find Clara on a video call, laughing and twirling her hair. She quickly ended the call upon seeing me, her face flushing with guilt. "Who was that?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "Just a friend from work," she replied, avoiding eye contact. I nodded, choosing not to press further. But the seed of doubt had been planted. Determined to uncover the truth, I discreetly hired a private investigator. Within days, I received photos of Clara with another man, dining at upscale restaurants, holding hands, sharing kisses. The betrayal cut deep. I confronted Clara, presenting the evidence. She didn't deny it. Instead, she accused me of being a failure, someone who lacked ambition and drive. Her words stung, but I remained composed. "I want a divorce," she declared, packing her belongings. I agreed, signing the papers without protest. She left, unaware of the empire I controlled, the wealth I possessed. Weeks later, Clara applied for a position at my company, unaware that I was the CEO. I decided to keep my identity hidden, curious to see how events would unfold. Clara's application landed on my desk, her credentials impressive as always. She had applied for the position of senior art consultant, a role that would place her in close proximity to the executive team. I decided to keep my identity concealed, curious to observe her behavior in a professional setting. During her interview, she was poised and articulate, unaware that the man behind the mirrored glass was her estranged husband. She spoke passionately about her vision for the company's art direction, her eyes gleaming with ambition. I was reminded of the woman I had fallen in love with, the one whose dreams once intertwined with mine. I approved her hiring, instructing HR to maintain confidentiality about the CEO's identity. Clara began her tenure with enthusiasm, quickly becoming a favorite among her peers. She was professional, yet there was an air of melancholy about her, a shadow that lingered behind her smiles. One evening, I attended a company gala, choosing to remain incognito among the crowd. Clara was there, radiant in a sapphire gown, her laughter echoing through the hall. She seemed to be enjoying herself, yet I noticed her glancing around, as if searching for someone. As the night progressed, I approached her, introducing myself as a consultant. She looked at me, puzzled, a flicker of recognition in her eyes. "Have we met before?" she asked. "Perhaps in another life," I replied with a smile. We engaged in light conversation, discussing art and its impact on corporate culture. Clara was animated, her passion reignited. She spoke of her aspirations, her regrets, and the lessons she had learned. Over the next few weeks, our paths crossed frequently. She seemed drawn to me, unaware of my true identity. I found myself torn between revealing the truth and continuing the charade. One afternoon, Clara confided in me about her failed marriage. She spoke of a man she had once loved, whom she had betrayed, and the remorse that haunted her. Her eyes welled with tears as she expressed her longing for redemption. "I wish I could tell him how sorry I am," she whispered. I remained silent, the weight of her words pressing heavily on my heart. That evening, I made a decision. I invited Clara to a private meeting, under the pretense of discussing a new project. She arrived at the executive suite, her demeanor professional yet curious. As she entered, I stood by the window, my back turned. "Thank you for coming," I said. She paused, recognizing my voice. "It's you," she whispered. I turned to face her, our eyes locking. A myriad of emotions crossed her face: shock, confusion, realization. You're the CEO?" I nodded. Clara's knees buckled, and she sank into a chair. "I don't understand," she murmured. I explained everything: the deception, the reasons behind it, and my desire to see her true self. She listened, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I'm so sorry," she sobbed. "I was blind, selfish. I didn't see the man you truly were." I reached out, gently wiping her tears. "It's not too late," I said softly. "Medium." Clara looked up, hope flickering in her eyes. "Do you think we can start over?" I smiled, taking her hand in mine. "Let's find out together." The revelation of my true identity left Clara in a state of shock. She had always known me as a humble employee, unaware of the empire I had built. Now, faced with the truth, she was grappling with a mix of emotions: regret, guilt, and a longing to make amends. In the days that followed, Clara's demeanor changed. She became more introspective, often seeking me out for conversations that delved deeper than mere pleasantries. She spoke of her past mistakes, her feelings of inadequacy, and her desire to start anew. One evening, she approached me with a proposal. "I want to earn back your trust," she said, her eyes earnest. "Not just as your employee, but as someone who once held your heart." I was taken aback by her vulnerability. Despite the pain she had caused, I still felt a connection to her, a bond forged through shared memories and experiences. We began spending more time together, both inside and outside the office. Our interactions were cautious at first, but gradually, the walls between us began to crumble. We laughed over shared jokes, reminisced about our early days, and found solace in each other's company. However, the path to reconciliation was not without its challenges. Clara's past infidelity loomed over us, a constant reminder of the betrayal I had endured. There were moments of doubt, times when I questioned whether I could truly forgive her. But Clara was determined to prove her sincerity. She took initiative in her work, going above and beyond to contribute to the company's success. She also sought therapy, aiming to understand the reasons behind her actions and to grow as a person. One day, she invited me to attend a session with her. I hesitated but eventually agreed, curious to see the progress she had made. During the session, Clara opened up about her fears and insecurities. She spoke of feeling unworthy, of seeking validation in the wrong places, and of the deep remorse she felt for hurting me. Hearing her speak so candidly stirred something within me. I realized that while the pain of her betrayal still lingered, there was also a part of me that yearned for closure, for the chance to heal and move forward. After the session, we took a walk through the park, the setting sun casting a warm glow over the landscape. Clara turned to me, her expression hopeful. "Do you think we can rebuild what we had?" she asked softly. I paused, considering her question. The journey ahead would not be easy, but perhaps with time and effort we could find our way back to each other. "I think it's worth trying," I replied, offering her a tentative smile. Clara's eyes lit up, and for the first time in a long while, I saw a glimmer of the woman I had fallen in love with. Rebuilding trust was not a straightforward path. Clara and I had to confront the shadows of our past, the pain of betrayal, and the challenges of forgiveness. We decided to attend couples therapy, seeking guidance to navigate the complexities of our renewed relationship. In therapy, we learned to communicate openly, to express our fears and desires without judgment. Clara shared her feelings of inadequacy, her fear of not being enough, and how that led her to seek validation elsewhere. I acknowledged my role in our disconnect, how my secrecy and emotional distance contributed to her feelings of isolation. Outside of therapy, we made conscious efforts to reconnect. We revisited places that held special memories, cooked meals together, and spent evenings talking about our dreams and aspirations. Slowly, the walls between us began to crumble, replaced by a newfound intimacy and understanding. At work, Clara continued to excel, her creativity and leadership earning her accolade. I reinstated transparency in our professional relationship, ensuring clear boundaries and mutual respect. Our colleagues noticed the positive change, unaware of the personal journey we were undertaking. One evening, as we watched the sunset from our balcony, Clara turned to me, her eyes reflecting the golden hues of the sky. "I never imagined we'd find our way back to each other," she said softly. I took her hand, squeezing it gently. "Neither did I, but I'm grateful we did. Our journey was a testament to the resilience of love, the power of forgiveness, and the beauty of second chances. We had faced the storm, weathered the turbulence, and emerged stronger, united by a bond that had been tested and proven true."